Latest football news, engaging debates,
and fascinating opinions.
Pitchside talk on IO Radio.
Yes, and welcome back to Pitchside Talk here on IO Radio. I'm back.
Yes, you are.
I am back. I'm George, and who am I joined by this week?
And me, Dan, again. I prefer to be sitting here, to be honest.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know. I just get to sort this out. So Dan, before I forget to mention, actually, I forgot to mention the social medias. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it is talk_pitch. Also, Instagram is exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you want to listen to any of our previous shows, go to YouTube and you can find all our shows as a podcast. Also, SoundCloud as well. Can't forget about that. So, Dan, what have we got coming up in this week's show?
Right, so today we're going to be talking about Ipswich again, as we do every week. We've got the game on Saturday to talk about.
Ooh.
And we're also going to be talking about Premier League. We've actually got a Premier League double header, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
We've got weekend's games and yesterday's games as well.
Yeah, it's quite a bit annoying. It's a little bit Premier League heavy today,
yeah,
but
it's fine.
Good. And also, it's a special day as well.
Yes,
forget to mention.
Yes, it is. Forget to mention. It would have been Alf Ramsey's 100th birthday today.
Yes.
So yeah,
legendary manager for Ipswich Town and all that,
and also England as well.
Also England. Well, that's good to hear. So yeah, let's get on with the show. Stay up to date with the latest footy news. Pitchside Talk on IO Radio. Yes, and welcome back to Pitchside Talk here on IO Radio. And Dan,
yes,
do you want to know what time it is?
I think so.
It's Ipswich Town time.
Hooray.
well, we actually had a game. You were saying that, we might not actually have a game. It's a bit touch and go at some points.
Yeah, I did.
But Ipswich come from behind at a sandy Tranmere.
Yeah, sandy Tranmere.
Sandy Tranmere. That actually rhymes very slightly. Sandy Tranmere, if you say it quick enough.
You're
I'm losing the plot, mate.
Yeah, not really, but we just go with that.
I'm losing the plot very slightly, but they win at a sandy Tranmere to keep the pressure on the top two.
Yes.
Woo. What are your thoughts on this performance, Dan?
Yeah, I think, especially second half, I think it was a decent performance. I think it took a while for us to get used to the pitch because, I don't know if you saw it, it was awful.
It was a beach.
It was awful. But I think we reacted to the conditions quite well. Obviously, first half, people were saying that it was pretty awful. We went 1-0 down after 30 minutes. So not the best start, but second half we came out and showed our quality and got the win in the end.
Yes, well that's Ipswich's first away win since Rochdale, and also the first time they've been a team home and away since a Reading back in 17-18.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's mad, that is.
That is absolutely crazy.
Not a great stat, but
not a great stat, but yeah, that's good to see. And also the last time they conceded first and still won was away from home was Swansea. Who remembers that game?
Under a man called Paul Hurst.
What a brilliant manager he was. But Lambert said after the game, we are hitting form at the right time. Do you feel the pressure's now been finally lifted off him after this, I guess, abysmal run he had over Christmas and November as well? Yeah,
I think it feels like to me that the pressure's been lifted off a little bit. We've had 2 wins in a row now. I think it's 4 unbeaten.
Yes, 4 unbeaten.
So yeah, hopefully we can carry on this form. And I think, I don't know if we'll go into this later, but Lambert said this was a great time for us to get back into this run of form. Sorry if I ruined your.
No, that's fine. No, that's fine. No, fine. We can talk about that next. Actually.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a great time to get this run of form back, and especially as Wickham lost yesterday. I think that was a big result for us. I know it was Peterborough. They're fighting for promotion as well, but big result for us yesterday. So, yeah, I think now that we're closer to the top 2 than we were, Wickham, a couple of months ago were 7 points clear. Now they're not even top anymore. So
no, they're only 2 points clear of Ipswich.
Yeah, it's all still very close, but yeah, good thing to get this form back.
All still to play for. Well, I was actually going to ask you, do you feel Ipswich have finally found this form at the start of the season where we saw a different Ipswich, really? Are we now seeing this Ipswich starting to click? The starting 11 seems pretty set now. The goalkeeper seems pretty set. The defender.
Don't
the
mention that.
Well, it's true.
Yeah, I know it's true, but I still want Holy in goal.
You do.
But yeah, I hope we can get this form from the start of the season. I think our fans were worried a bit because at the start we were in a great run of form, but some of the performances weren't fantastic. But these last 2 games, we've shown our quality in these last 2 games. I think the first half against Accrington, we were ruthless. Second half against Tranmere, very decent as well. So let's hope we can, keep going on with this winning run like we did at the start of the season, and we'll go up.
Oh God! Well, there was quite a bit of a surprising starting 11 from Paul Lambert. Exactly the same team from Oxford, but with one change. James Norwood dropped to the bench against his former side, and Wilkin in with Kane Jackson.
Yes.
What were your sort of thoughts on that when you saw that? Was that a bit of a tactical decision by Lambert because of the pitch, sort of to have somebody as tall that's going to win the aerial balls down?
Yeah, maybe. I think my first reaction was, why on earth has he done that? Because I thought Norwood was going to be a starter in this game, especially against his former club. But, we've got decent backup, and Keane, he's on a great run of form at the moment as well. He's been scoring goals recently. I think he's got, 4 in 6 now, something like that. So, yeah, he's on decent scoring form. So, I don't mind it too much that we've got good backup, but yeah, I prefer Norwood being in the squad. Just for him being there, really. His presence is great. So, yeah, very surprising, but he came on and got an assist in the end, so it's not all bad.
Yeah, I had to say that Kane Jackson goal. Oh,
yeah.
He's just replicating James Norwood, really.
Yes, he is. 2 chips in 2 games.
Yeah, who would have thought it? Well, speaking about the 2 goal scorers, we'll go to the first one. Flynn Downs scored.
Yes, he
happy
did.
birthday, Flynn Downs, for the other day. You're now 21.
Yes.
It's making me feel
And he's
old.
number 21 as well.
Yeah, he's making me feel slightly old. Him going, he's 21. What? Well, he expressed after the game he has no desire to leave Ipswich Town. How much of a big sort of boost is that for Ipswich in their promotion run when you've got a player who's been linked with big moves? It's pretty settled now.
Oh, it's massive that he's come out and said that, because for me, he's been our player of the season so far, and I think he'll be player of the season come the end of the year. I think finally, last season it was Chambers just because we had an awful season, but it was 3 years Bialkowski.
Oh, yes,
but now
Bialkowski, yeah.
I think, Downs is going to be player of the season, I think. So he's been absolutely fantastic for us. I think he's made an impact in every single game we've played, and it's massive for him to say that he's going to be here till the end of the season, which maybe puts even more pressure on us to go up, because if we don't, he's probably going to want to leave with the form he's in at the moment. So, but it's massive for us to see him stay until the end of the season.
Well, I've got a funny stat for you. The last time he scored was against Shrewsbury this season, and this latest goal, which is his 3rd of his career, is his first goal away from home, and every time he scored, Ipswich have won.
Yes,
they
have.
It's funny enough. And also the last 2 times Downs and Jackson scored in the same game, they both won. And he was the second goal scorer, Jackson. But also he's been linked with a move away. Peterborough rumours are starting to surface once again.
Yeah.
I was sort of dying down, but could we possibly see him leave? There is a few mixed opinions on Jackson.
I don't think we should let him leave. I think he's been very good for us this season. I know some people don't like him. Even last season, I saw him as a decent player. I think he could do something in the squad, and he's proved that this season. He can score goals. When he runs in behind, he can be absolutely lethal because of his pace. So yeah, I really don't think we should look into selling him. It's a bit annoying that Peterborough have come in again, because they were linked with him before, and then their owner, who just tweets everything that's going on, came out and said we're not looking for a striker, but then rumours have come up again. But it's late in the transfer window now, and I don't think they need a striker at the moment, so I can't see him leaving.
Can't see him leaving. Well, also something that has surfaced up as well. This surfaced up last night. Last night. Donatian. There's reports that he is out of Ipswich Town as 3 League One clubs that which will remain unnamed, because don't know who they are.
No,
according to the report, but he is linked with a move away. And this season he's played 10 games, 0 goals, 0 assists, 3 clean sheets, and he's done 782 minutes. We haven't seen him since Lincoln.
No.
After the Lincoln game, after suffering a dead leg, and he's been sort of out of favour with Lambert, with Greenwood was playing right back.
Yes,
which is a bit strange because he's been playing well there. Actually,
well, he's been doing okay.
He's been doing okay, but he's been linked with a move away. Do you think Ipswich should keep him, or do you think Ipswich should sell him now, whilst they've got the chance, and maybe got a chance to bring in another right back?
No, I think we should keep him. I think I've said on the show before that I don't like him, and I don't really rate him still. But saying that, I think he is. If we're going to play Edwards every game, he's back up, and because Vincent Young's out at the moment, injured. Although he's coming, he's supposed to come back at the end of February, so not too far away. But still, I think we need to keep him because we barely have a right back. Edwards isn't a right back. He's been doing okay. I still think he's not great defensively, playing right wing back. So I still think we need him there as backup because if he leaves, then what else do we have? Wolfenden can play right back, but he's so much better at centre back. Well, in this new system that we're playing, this new Sheffield United system. So yeah, in my opinion, I think we should keep him, even though I don't rate him.
You know you don't rate him. Well, Ipswich are back at home this Saturday, playing against Lincoln, who are sort of Ipswich's bogey team, if we can say.
Yeah,
they are their bogey team. The last time these two sides played was December the 29th. I remember this day quite well, actually. It finished 5-3.
Mad.
And this is the last time Ipswich lost in League One.
Yes.
It's been nearly a month.
It has.
What is your score prediction? What could we maybe expect from this game?
It's hard to say. I think Lincoln, I don't know what their form looks like, but, they're a mid-table team. And the history we've had with them over the last few years is probably going to make them, be up for it. But I'm confident going into this game. I think we're going to come away with a 2-1 victory.
Oh.
We'll go into the top two.
You're going to the top two? Yeah. Well, I'm going to go 2-2.
Okay.
Because Ipswich have never beaten them at Portman Road, and it's always been a draw every time they played. So, ooh.
I don't want to. I'm just thinking about the last time we drew against Lincoln at home. Don't want to be reminded of that.
Don't want to be reminded
time under Mick, and then we went to Lincoln and embarrassed ourselves.
The last time you drawed against Lincoln was in the FA Cup first round, and it all ended well with Alan Judge.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't at that game.
Okay, fair enough.
Well,
fair enough. Well, that is the end of the Ipswich Town sort of debate talk.
Yeah.
We need to make this a section or something. Ipswich Town talk.
Yeah. Ipswich Town talk.
Why not? Well, when we come back, we're going to talk about the Premier League, the double bill.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
Pitchside Talk on IO Radio.
Yes, welcome back to Pitchside Talk here on IO Radio. And before I forget to mention, if you want to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, it's talk_pitch. You can find all our polls, all our banter, all the things I take Mickey out of Dan for supporting Ipswich Town. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Someone's got to, haven't they?
Somebody has to, yeah. And also, if you want us to change any of our previous shows, go onto our YouTube channel, Pitchside Talk. You can find all of them on there, including last week's.
Which isn't up yet, but...
It's not up yet, but it will be up. It will be up soon.
Yeah.
Touch wood.
Touch wood,
we promise. Well, we better get on to the Premier League. Oh, my God, chat. Double bill. Too many games.
Yeah.
Implosion. We'll get on to the weekend's games first. Liverpool moved 16 points clear off the top of the Premier League after beating Manchester United 2-0. That shows how far Manchester United have come, doesn't it?
Of course it does.
It does show how far they've come. First question is, can anything stop Liverpool? This is quite crazy because looking at the stats, they've beaten 18 out of the 19 Premier League teams they've played this season.
Mm-hmm.
Still got to play West Ham. They've only dropped 2 points this season, taking 64 from 66 points in 22 games.
That is mental. It's absolutely mental. I don't think anything can stop them now. We talk about this pretty much every week. Yeah, nothing can stop them.
Nothing can stop
at
them.
all.
Well, are we possibly looking at one of the best sides to play in the Premier League era? Or do they need to win something first, like the title, to then be considered in that bracket? Because there's a lot of people saying that they should be in this bracket, but they haven't won anything yet.
No, I think they should be considered in that bracket.
Even if they don't win it?
Well, they are going to win it, so there's no point in saying...
I've got to think worst case scenarios here.
At the moment, this Liverpool team is probably the best in the world. So I think they can be put in that bracket, along with Arsenal's unbeaten run team, along with some others, obviously. But I think nothing can stop them at the moment. So I'm going to put them in that bracket.
Were Manchester United unlucky to score?
To not score. Maybe. I think overall, obviously, going to Anfield is a massive, massive ask. So maybe they were a little bit unlucky, but I think overall, obviously, Liverpool deserved to win. And they did. And the celebration as well from Mo Salah. I bet you enjoyed that.
I did, actually. I enjoyed the Alisson run.
And the Alisson run.
Everyone said that he's been knee sliding for 60 yards or something like that. They actually recorded his speed at 16.6 miles per hour.
They actually recorded
the speed.
Wow.
It's no joke. It is crazy. But yes, Manchester United unlucky to score. But do you feel there's pressure now on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Manchester United. His future has been questioned for a long time. They are fifth in the Premier League, even though his future has been questioned. But is it possibly coming to the end for him soon? Maybe the end of the season, because there is critics of him. Yeah.
It's hard to say at the moment, I think. I know Man United fans, I feel like they're more unhappy with their owner. At the moment, I have a friend who's a Man United fan. He's definitely not happy with the owner. So, yeah, it's hard to say. Maybe if they can't get into the top four this season, they will sack him. But it's still close. Chelsea aren't on a very good run at the moment. Well, no. Man United aren't really either, but it's still pretty close. So I guess we'll see come the end of the season what they decide to do.
Well, it shows how far the side's come, doesn't it?
Well, Liverpool put out their strongest team.
I have to sort of ask you, when he said that, it shows how far our side's come. We played well against Liverpool. Do you think, if they lost 2-0 under Sir Alex Ferguson, he would have said that's the worst performance in Manchester United's sort of in that they played, and they should be beating Liverpool instead of going, oh yeah, we lost 2-0. That's a good result.
Yeah.
Do you think that killer instinct has gone from United?
Yeah, I think that's one of the problems. I think the manager's way too soft with his players, it seems, at times, for me. To come out and say, just because Liverpool put out their strongest squad against us, see how far you've come. That's absolutely ridiculous, that is, coming out with that comment. So, yeah, I think Ollie's got some work to do, really stamp down what he needs to do with this team. And obviously, injuries are not helping at the moment.
No.
So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
Well, speaking of injuries, Marcus Rashford suffered I think a back injury or something.
Yeah.
Against Wolves in the FA Cup replay. Didn't need to come on, but he came on and suffered it. He's now going to be out for 6 weeks. How much of a big blow is this going to be? Because looking at his stats this season, he scored 14 goals for Manchester United and got 4 assists. And that is about 30% of Manchester United's goals this season.
Wow.
In the Premier League.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's going to be a massive miss for them. I think he's one of the players that they rely on to get them out of the situation. So I think that'll be a big miss for him and for them. They have some decent players to replace. They've got a decent young squad, I'll say, but it's just not coming together. And missing Rashford now is going to be a massive miss, and for England maybe as well.
Maybe, yeah. With Kane possibly going to be out for the Euros.
Yeah,
according to a top surgeon. Could be all going wrong for England before it's even started. Well, we better move on to the other games in the Premier League. We're going to sort of just speed through them because there's some boring games.
This one.
Especially this one. Watford drawed 0-0 against Tottenham. Tottenham have now failed to score in 3 consecutive Premier League games.
They were millimetres away, though.
Yes, they were 10.04 millimetres away from scoring a goal.
Wow.
And it was cleared off the line.
Yes, it was.
It was absolutely crazy. And also Watford missed a penalty to win it, really.
Yeah.
As well. But are we seeing a bit of a problem with Tottenham now? Is Jose now finding that this squad isn't capable of what he needs to do to get into the top 4 again?
Yeah, maybe. I think the honeymoon period is over now. So, he's got a lot of work to do. He's brought in with Jedson Fernandez on loan from Benfica. He seems like an okay signing. I guess he's in to kind of replace Ndombele because he's out injured, isn't he?
Yes.
So we'll see how he does. But yeah, he's got a lot of work to do with this team, and to not score in 3 now, is it?
Yes, 3 consecutive Premier League games.
Yeah, that's a worry. And also, now that Kane's out, that's going to be even more of a difficult task.
And also, with Eriksen very unhappy, rumouredly, and Jose very unhappy with Antonio Conte, so he shouldn't be talking about players that are not his own yet.
Yeah.
That was a bold statement. That was.
That was very bold.
I think them two got bad blood.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we should just watch them more often. Go on, Tottenham draw into Milan and something else, please.
Yeah, that would be good.
But Watford, we've seen a very different Watford over this Christmas period. In the first 17 games, they only won one game, drawn 6 and lost 9, getting 9 points from that. 9 points. In the last 7, under Nigel Pearson, they've won 4, drawn 2, lost 1, and got 14 points. Are we seeing a resurgence in this Watford side? There's some fight.
Yeah, there is. I think there is some fight now. And it looks like Nigel Pearson's come in and does what he does best. He's done it so many times before, most recently with Leicester. So I think he can do it again. I think he brought in someone from somewhere.
I know you're about. He actually cleared the goal.
Yes, he did. I can't remember where he came from. I can see his name. But was it Juventus?
No, I can see his name. I can't think his name.
Okay. Well, anyway, he's brought in a new signing, so we'll see how he does. But yeah, I think they can definitely stay up this year. They've got enough.
You know that name's going to really bug me now.
Yeah,
we're going to be talking about someone else later, and I'm going to shout out loud.
Yeah, I can't remember where he came in from either, but
God, it's going to annoy me. Well, we better move on to the other side of London. Arsenal played Sheffield United, and they earned a point out of Sheffield United. Well, Sheffield United rescued a point.
Yes, they did
after a deflected John Flick goal. Sold Bert Leno. I'd say that was a good goal. That was.
It was.
It was deflected, but Arsenal have now dropped 13 points from winning positions this season. Is that still a problem with Arsenal? Or are we looking at it was a good Sheffield United performance?
Well, I guess we could look at it both ways. I think it is a problem for Arsenal. I've said from the start that I don't think the appointment of Arteta was the right decision, and I still don't think it is. But they've got to work with that now. But Sheffield United, they're doing absolutely fantastic this season. They can grind out results with the way they play because teams aren't used to it. So, yeah, I think we could look at it both ways. Sheffield United did well to get back in the game, but Arsenal have a problem as well.
Yes, well, Sheffield United have won 16 away points this season, the highest joint tally on the road since the 92-93 campaign.
Wow.
Because they got points away at Chelsea, Tottenham. I can't think other teams have been. I can't think who else they've been in the season, but they seem to be a very resilient side.
Yeah, they do.
Especially with Chris Wilder signed that brand new contract.
Yeah, that's big for them.
They're on the up, aren't they?
Yeah. It's great to see this kind of thing happen because not long ago they were in League One. So it's good to see them get back into the Premier League and actually do well. So, yeah, good to see.
It is good to see. Well, we better move on to Brighton, Aston Villa. That finished 1-1. It was a very mixed, topsy-turvy game that was there. But Villa, they seem to be lacking really this season.
Yeah, I think so. I'm very surprised with how poor they're doing at the moment because I've always thought their team was good enough to stay up, but it just looks like at the moment Grealish is dragging them along. So yeah, it's surprising to me how poor they're doing. They've spent a lot of money in the summer, so we'll see how Dean Smith does, but it just seems to me that Dean Smith is a bit out of his depth at the moment because he hasn't managed a Premier League team before. So yeah, I guess we'll see how they do the second half of the season.
You can say the same for Graham Potter as his Brighton side have dropped 14 points from winning positions this season in the Premier League. Only West Ham have done higher with 17, but Brighton seem to be. Do you think they're safe? Really, just sort of they seem to get results, but they're not. Sometimes they've been Tottenham at home, but then they struggle against like Sheffield United, for an instance.
Yeah, it is hard to say. I don't think they are safe, to be honest, because there's teams around the bottom 7 that I think can, get their form back on, like West Ham. I don't think they're going to go down. Watford, I think, are going to stay up, so it's going to be difficult for them, but it's looking okay at the moment. So I'm going to say Brighton are going to stay up this season.
Oh, well, we'll move on to Manchester City. They play Crystal Palace on Pep Guardiola's birthday, of all days. Yeah. And the last 5 managers to have a birthday who took in charge of Man City have not won their game. So I wonder if he's going to break this duck. And he didn't. It finished 2-2. Crystal Palace got a 90th minute own goal from Fernandinho. Good old Connor Wickham pushing.
Unlucky though.
I'd say Connor Wickham pushed Fernandinho at the right time.
Good old Connor Wickham.
Assisting for Ipswich once again. But Man City dropping points again.
Yeah.
Pep saying they're going to have to aims are now to secure a Champions League place.
Oh,
Is that sort of a bit of a? You can tell how bad the season's already going.
yeah, I think so. I think for him at this point in time to say they've got to secure a place in the Champions League, he's obviously decided that they're not going to catch Liverpool up. I think, and I don't think they are either. I think they're safe for a Champions League spot, but it just seems like at the moment they don't have anything to play for. They're just sitting in second, and that's how it will finish.
Well, Crystal Palace have drawn 4 consecutive Premier League games for the only second time in the whole Premier League campaign. But they seem to actually have a good record at the Etihad now.
Yeah, well, last season Townsend scored that
brilliant
absolute
goal.
screamer, didn't he? I remember that. But yeah, they're good at the Etihad. Fantastic result for them. And can't remember where they are in the league. You have to scroll down.
Oh here we go. Can't remember. Ninth in the league.
Ninth. So yeah, they're having a great season. You know, I thought they'd be down there. I think I put them in the bottom 6 in my prediction. Can't really remember.
I can't actually remember myself.
Yeah, they're having a great season at the moment.
Well, I would actually get that whilst we talk about this other game, a 6-pointer, an absolute scrap at the bottom.
Yeah.
Norwich v Bournemouth. Norwich won 1-0. That's 126 days between wins now for Norwich at home. And do you want to know what the last home game they won was?
Yeah.
Manchester City, and which finished 3-2, and then they went and lost to Burnley the next time out. But
Mad.
Norwich, we saw a good Norwich performance.
Yeah.
I think we have to say a very good Norwich performance, even though they did go down to 10 men. But do you think they maybe have enough? They could maybe do what Watford had done, sort of at the sort of a few points away from the getting out, but with a good run of results, it could happen.
I think it's no. I don't think so.
I think so.
It's looking bad for Norwich. I think mainly because this game early on, Steve Cook did some ridiculous handball, so you know they had the advantage already, and they ground this result out. Bournemouth on a poor run of form, but tonight they've got Tottenham away, which is a game that is going to be very difficult, and Tottenham will probably they're going to go into this game wanting to win, obviously, and thinking that they will be able to win. So, yeah, well, I guess we'll see, but I don't think they'll be able to stay up this year. I don't know if they've signed this transfer window. They signed someone from Germany, I think, but
the Basement Boys haven't.
Yes, the Basement Boys.
Yes, good old Basement Boys. Before I forget to mention, you actually put Crystal Palace finish 12th this season.
Oh, okay. Well, don't listen to what I'm saying.
Don't listen to him talk. But before we get onto the Bournemouth performance and how things gone, we saw VAR history. Ben Godfrey was sent off after his tackle on Callum Wilson was upgraded from a yellow to a red card. After Paul Tierney was advised to look at his monitor, which all referees have been told to look at your monitors if it is a red card decision. Yeah. Do you think he got the right decision there by looking at his monitor and upgrading it?
Yeah, I think that was one of the instances where VAR actually works. So
it works?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it works for Liverpool.
But no, that was definitely a red card. You know, the ref didn't see it at first. Went to look at the screen, gave him red card. Good decision. So yeah, it actually worked for once, which is surprising. But I think in these situations, I think with red cards, it probably will usually work. But it still takes a lot of time to do it, though.
Still takes a lot of time. Well, we better move on to Bournemouth's performance because it was an absolute dire performance, really. They've now failed to score in 4 consecutive top-flight games this season.
Yeah.
How's it going so wrong for them? Is it just the pressure now of trying to maintain the Premier League? They've spent money this season.
Yeah.
And, you know, people now going like, oh, they should be now like a main stake in the Premier League.
Yeah. And I think that's because they've had... 3 years in the 4 seasons in the
4 seasons
4 seasons now in the Premier League. So, you know, in the last 4 years they've been a stayer in the Premier League. So, yeah, I don't know what's going wrong with them. I think they've always had enough to stay in the league. It seems like they've had the same defence for the last 4 years though, which is a bit weird. But yeah, it's not looking good for them at the moment. Poor performance at Carrow Road. So. I don't know if they'll be able to stay up this year. I think maybe their time's come to
like
play
Stoke.
Championship football again, yeah.
Oh, interesting. Well, we'll move on to a thrilling game here. Southampton lost to Wolves 3-2 after leading 2-0 at half-time, and Wolves formed a resurgent comeback. Did you know that Wolves have actually played a full season already of football? They've played 38 games already.
Wow.
And it's only January.
That's mad, that is. That's what Europa League does then, I guess.
Yeah, well, I think they could play up to us about 50-odd games if it works in their way.
Yeah.
But,
Paul Lambert moans about the League One schedule.
They don't mind.
God.
They don't mind at all. But did we see a fantastic... What sort of performance did we see from us? It's a fantastic performance.
Yeah.
And do we maybe see, if they can hit it right, could we maybe see a challenger for the Champions League?
Oh, I'm not sure about that. But
they're only a point behind Manchester United.
Behind Man United, and I said United might get in the might challenge. So yeah, maybe. Great performance, obviously. Well, maybe not the first half. They were 2-0 down, but second half done fantastic to get back and win the game. And Jimenez, he's on fire at the moment. So yeah, it's all very close around there. So maybe they can challenge for Champions League.
Did we just see a little blip there from Southampton after the fantastic run they've had since losing 9-0 to Leicester?
Yeah.
It's been a brand new team all of a sudden.
It is. Yeah, maybe that was just a little blip. I guess we'll see how they do in their next games. I'm not sure their fixtures, but yeah, maybe just a little blip, I think.
Maybe a little blip in the road. Well, we'll move on to this game, which was a bit of a ball fest. Yeah. West Ham drew 1-1 with Everton. Not much really happened. Apart from Dave Moyes reunited with his old club once again.
Yes, once again.
And West Ham dropping points again. That's a bit of a concern, really. Dropping points.
Yeah, it is a concern.
They dropped most points from winning positions this season. 17. Yikes.
Yeah, that's not good, is it? Could they be going down to the Championship? The London Stadium in the Championship. Imagine that.
All that money they spend as well, going to the Championship.
I know.
Yikes. That'd be a good day, away day for Ipswich if they get up. We'll move on to, the last game on Saturday, Newcastle v Chelsea. Newcastle nicked it in the 94th minute from an Isaac Hayden header. Yeah, header.
Yeah.
But does it just show the football Newcastle play is just hold out and you'll get your reward?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're good at doing that. You know, I'm surprised how well they're doing. I definitely remember that I put Newcastle in the bottom three of my predictions.
That as well.
So it's surprising to see how well Steve Bruce is doing. And yeah, it looks like this is what they do. They like getting late goals, it seems, as we'll talk about, I guess, after.
Yes, we will.
So yeah, good for them. Great win at home to Chelsea.
Great win, Chelsea. But Chelsea suffering another loss away from home, and especially to a side. It seems when they play against a side that frustrates them, they seem to all struggle.
Yeah.
Is that a problem that Frank Lampard's got in his team, really?
Yeah, maybe they can't see out games. Oh, I know that it was 0-0 trying to see out.
They can't seem to get the results.
Yeah, they can't seem to get the results. And, you know, he had a decent start to the season. Abraham was scoring goals for fun, wasn't he?
Mount was doing well.
Mount was doing well. So he had a good start to the season, but it's kind of just dropped off a bit. It's looking perilous in fourth place, really. They keep dropping points and teams around them getting points. So, yeah, it's not looking good for Chelsea at the moment, but maybe they can get some results. But Abraham, it's injured, so.
Yes. Well, we'll speak about that later on. But a side that is not doing well is Leicester City.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's all going wrong.
Yeah.
They lost 2-1 to Burnley. Of all teams, Burnley. Burnley, this is the first time Burnley have come back from being losing at half time. And the last time they did that was Everton 2-1 on March 2018. So, but Burnley finally getting that result. They've lost the last 4 games, which has put them sort of in a bit of a dangerous position in the Premier League. But do you think now they can hit form and spur on from this?
Yeah, I think so. I think they've definitely got enough to stay up. You know, it's a good result for them. Leicester now on a really poor run. So, yeah, good result for Burnley, but a bit worrying for Leicester. Maybe they can get these results back on track.
Are we maybe looking at sort of the bubbles burst a little bit for Leicester this season? We could maybe see them slip out the top 4 if they're not careful enough. Yeah,
I think if they're not careful, they could. So I guess we'll see what happens. But I still think they have a really good team under Brendan Rodgers. So, yeah, I guess we'll see what happens going into the rest of the games in the Premier League this season.
Yes, well, when we come back, we're going to talk about more Premier League because we had some last night.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, when will it ever end?
The best place in Ipswich to hear the latest football debates, Pitchside Talk on IO Radio.
Yes, welcome back to Pitchside Talk here on IO Radio. And Dan, We better get it done and dusted.
Yeah, okay.
This is the Premier League once again. Oh, God. The Premier League midweek games now. We have a midweek Premier League. I don't know why. It's really tiring.
Why not?
Yeah, it's just why not. It's a bit annoying because I want to talk about Bournemouth
Yeah.
and their struggles, but no, we're going to talk about Premier League. And we'll start off with the big game that happened last night. Chelsea v Arsenal.
Yes.
Clash of the Titans, they say.
Mm.
And Arsenal showed some togetherness and leadership as a 10-man Arsenal earns a point against Chelsea. They went down 10 men in the 26th minute, and they look like a completely different team that played better than the Chelsea.
Yeah, that's mad. Maybe 10-man Arsenal is the way to go. Just get players sent off, then they'll play better. But yeah, great result for Arsenal to come back, especially with 10 men. Showed resilience to come back into that game. Could just mention Martinelli's goal, that run he made.
Brilliant run.
Yeah.
I think he ran that with 66 yards.
66 yards, mad. But yeah, he's a good up-and-coming player for Arsenal. But yeah, good result for Arsenal, I think, away at Chelsea.
Yes. Are we now finally seeing Arteta's side? We're finally seeing the improvements he's bringing in. Something that Arsenal lacked a lot was the togetherness and the leadership under Unai Emery and the sort of the grit. Sort of like go, we're 1-0 down, but we're gonna keep coming. Are we now finally seeing this from Arsenal?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's only really been one game, but we'll see how Arteta really brings his team together. It says on there he's demanding. They show togetherness, so that's what he wants to see, and he's seen it in this game. So probably can think that they can bring this into their up and coming fixtures. So yeah, we'll see how Arteta really brings his team together.
Yes, well, Arsenal saw the red card as well for David Luiz. Ironic it was David Luiz, actually.
Yeah,
very ironic.
Against his old card.
That's their 8th they've done against Chelsea now of red cards.
Wow.
That's crazy. But moving on to Frank Lampard, he said in his press conference that his side does not have a killer instinct. And especially with Tammy Abraham, could be possibly out for a little while now after suffering a clash with the boards. Yeah. Which possibly could lead to an ankle injury, rumouredly.
Yeah.
Is that going to just get worse for Chelsea?
Yeah, I think so, because he's been their goal scorer really so far. So he's a massive presence up front, and I've said this before, but he's the kind of player that will play at any team and get goals. So it's going to be a big miss for them. Don't know who else can come in.
Well, they are rumoured with the striker in Edison Cavani from PSG, but rumouredly I've heard today that he's off to Atletico Madrid. Yeah,
so doesn't look good. He'll probably prefer to go there. So yeah, not looking good for them. But we'll see what happens.
We will see what happens. Well, we'll move on to the other games that happened last night in the Premier League. And Aston Villa did a fantastic comeback against Watford, winning 2-1.
With one of the luckiest goals I've ever seen.
Yes, Aston Villa have ended their 3-game losing streak against Watford in the Premier League. Yep. The last win against the Hornets was back in January 2007. 2007, they won 2-0. I couldn't tell you who scored in that game. And also, this is the first time Aston Villa come back to win after losing in the first half. The first time they did this, the first time since September 2013 against Manchester City of all teams, ending a 51 victory or streak. Sorry, but are we now finally seeing Aston Villa are out of the relegation zone as we speak now? They are 16th. Could we see? Can they build from this now and go for it?
I mean, maybe, but it's still massively close around there. I think this was a massive win. Obviously, it was a relegation 6-pointer, but they're still only 2 points off the bottom 3, so it's going to be tight. But I still think they do have enough to stay up this season. I really do think that they've got the team that can stay up. But I guess we'll see. I mean, I still think West Ham will get out of this trouble, and it's all too tight really to predict at the moment, I think.
All too tight to predict. Well, speaking of too tight to predict, Watford, who have been on this fantastic run of earning 14 points from 7 games, getting out of the relegation zone, are now back in the relegation zone in 19th.
On goal difference,
but that's a bit of a concern, isn't it, for Nigel Pearson? Does that maybe put Watford's sort of the fans that have been up on cloud 9 straight back down to reality with quite a hard bump, really? Well,
yeah, I guess you could say that, but at the same time, they've had such a good run under Nigel Pearson, so I think they probably still have the belief that they can stay up. But obviously it's going to be a massive ask for Nigel Pearson, but I think he can do it. I think he's done it so many times before that he's proven that he can do that kind of work in the Premier League. So yeah, it's still too hard to predict, in my opinion, though.
Still too hard to predict. Well, for a side that's too hard to predict, Bournemouth. We were just speaking how bad they were against Norwich. They go home against Brighton and they won that 3-1. This ends a winless streak at home, which was 80 days long between the win against Manchester United to now. And they are 18th. They were actually outside the relegation zone until Aston Villa won.
Yeah.
But are we maybe now seeing this fight that Eddie Howe has been demanding from his side? I said about it last week, the fight is not in the players.
Yeah.
Are we now finally seeing this? The fight?
Yeah, maybe. I think in this game, they fought for this result. It's a big win against Brighton. I think that puts Brighton in more trouble. But big result for Bournemouth. But I still think they have enough in them, have enough fight in them. They've shown that they can stay up before. But as I said before the break, I think it's going to be massively difficult for Eddie Howe. So, yeah, could maybe see them in the Championship next year.
Maybe. Well, you did say about Brighton, it has put them into big trouble. They're now only 2 points off and 15th off the relegation zone. They've lost the last 8 of their 11 Premier League games away from home. But it's out of concern now for Graham Potter, possibly. The side that has been doing so well, just getting results, are getting pulled into this trouble. Yeah,
I think they had a decent start of the season. Actually, I'm quite surprised that they've come all the way down here. But he's had not that much experience as a manager. I think he only had one season at Swansea, didn't he?
Yes, one season at Swansea. Yeah.
Yeah, so he hasn't had much experience. So it's going to be difficult for him, but we'll see, obviously. So will Brighton stay up? Too hard to predict once again.
Yes, well, we're just going to sort of mention this game because I actually haven't got anything in this game, but Crystal Palace lost 2-0 to Southampton. There's nothing much really to say about this game apart from Southampton.
Decent win for Southampton.
Yeah, jumped up to 9th above Arsenal.
They are 3 points off Man United. That is mad, that is.
It is very mad.
I cannot believe that.
Nobody can. Well,
wow.
nobody can believe this score here.
Yeah.
If I told you that Everton were in the 93rd minute of 4 minutes of added time and they were winning 2-0, and I told you that the game finished 2-2 in that space of time, would you believe me?
Absolutely not.
Well, that happened last night.
Yeah.
Newcastle scored 2 late-minute equalisers. Florian Lejeune, of all people, scored in the 94th and the 95th minute. Them goals were set by 102 seconds. Newcastle's Twitter went absolutely mad.
Yep, that's Grant Pringle.
Yeah, good old Grant.
Our former media man at Ipswich.
Since he took it over, that is just an L.
Yeah.
No, that is just a win. Social media, it's just a win. But yes, Newcastle won. This is crazy.
Yeah.
They're picking up points here. How are they doing this? They've done against Chelsea.
Yeah, I don't know how they got a result out of this game. Absolutely mad. Brilliant fight from them at the end. But there we go. You only need one goal and then you've got the fight to try and get back into the game. So fantastic. I know it was a scramble for their goal. Pickford was standing inside of his goal, wasn't he?
Yes.
The ball went over the line. So, yeah, absolute madness.
Yes,
absolute scenes.
And Everton, dropping points again. Carlo Ancelotti got a very big job on his hands.
He has, yeah.
Such a big job. Well, we'll speak about this game. The final game of last night, Manchester City earned a win at Sheffield United, a very resilient Sheffield United, saved a Manchester City penalty.
Yes.
Manchester City. It looked like one of those games where Man City weren't going to win. Everything was going against them.
And then Aguero.
And
of course it was Aguero.
Mr. Reliable.
Yeah.
Should he just be starting every game now for Man City?
Absolutely. I think.
Lifetime contract.
Yeah.
Play until you're 50,
contract. Mate. I think he's one of the best strikers in the Premier League. Well, since the Premier League started, in my opinion. I
really?
Think, yeah.
Wow.
I don't think he's on the level of Thierry Henry, as people say, but I think he's definitely one of the best. Obviously, Mr. Reliable, scoring again. Decent result for Man City as well. Obviously, Sheffield United, a difficult team to play against, but they got the win in the end.
Will they be disappointed not to have walked away with a point after the performance they put in at the back, especially?
Yeah, the back, they were brilliant. Yeah, they probably are. Feel like they're unlucky to come away with no points. But again, it's Man City, and they're still in a good position. So I think, they just need to keep that confidence up that they can, fight for at least a Europa League place. And I think they'll do well the rest of the season.
And also, it's Dean Henderson's England's number one.
Is he?
Is he? Is he?
Is he
the
England
fans,
number one?
The fans chanted it yesterday. Is he?
Not sure about that.
Not sure.
I think he's got a bit of a way off at the moment, but he's definitely in consideration.
He is definitely in consideration. Well, that's good to hear.
Pitchside Talk, footy debate from the Premier League Outback.
Yes, that's right. Pitchside Talk from the Premier League Outback. And Dan,
Yes.
we're out of time.
We have.
We are out of time once again.
Yeah.
How do we do it?
I don't know. That went on for quite a while. Premier League kind of drags out.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. But
That's all right.
see, if that didn't happen, we were going to talk about Bournemouth / Eddie Howe. I had
Yeah.
actually written it up.
Yeah.
I actually had written up, and I went,
okay.
it's Premier League.
Oh, thanks, Premier League. Ruining our
Once
schedule.
again. Well, that's been a good show. Before I forget to mention, follow us on Twitter at talk_pitch. Also, Instagram, same talk_pitch. If you want to listen to any of our shows back, go to our YouTube channel, Pitchside Talk.
Yes.
So, yeah. And, well, we'll see you next week when we talk about Ipswich Town, Premier League, not Premier League, FA Cup.
FA Cup.
Woo! Finally something different where we can see if we've got our predictions absolutely spot on. And we'll see you next week. And ciao.
See ya.
The whistle has been blown for full time. Tune in next week for another jam-packed show.